stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray together. Heavenly Father, we come before you. Thank you so much for the beauty of this day. Lord, for one more opportunity that you have given to each of us to serve you. Lord, we're reminded of your love and grace in our life, of the springing forth of all the new life around us. And Lord, we thank you for that reminder of your constant and abiding care in our lives. We ask now, Lord, that you might bless us as we meet together as the Cochran Rotary Club. We ask that you would bless the meeting that we have, the guests that we have among us. We ask that you would bless the program and Lord, the meal that we have received. Be ever so near to each of us, we pray, and use us for your kingdom purposes and for your glory. For it is in Jesus Christ's name we ask. Amen.
Well, at this time, I'll turn the program over to Jamie Sheffield.
Today we have with us Ms. Gina Thomas. She's the branch manager at the Tessie Norris Cochran Library. She's held that position for 9 years. Collectively, she has over a 20-year career with the state of Georgia. She's a Cochran native, born and raised here, graduate of Bleckley County High School and also Middle Georgia State University. She has a bachelor's degree in public administration from Georgia College and State University. And she's been married to her husband, Scotty Thomas, for 24 years, and together they have 2 teenage children. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Gina Thomas.
Thank you. I'm just going to do something really informal. I don't know what program you usually do, but I have a little handout. If anyone's interested, I'll just put them here on the table. If someone wants to pick it up when you leave, it's just a little info sheet, but I'm going to basically go over it right now. Thank you. I may not have enough for everyone because I wasn't sure how many people. But thank you for the introduction, and thank you for inviting me. And I am Gina Evans Thomas. I was of Evans, like I said, born and raised here. And I'm just going to give you some information about our local library here. We have a very good library. We have it's well-utilized public library. But on the sheets that are going around, it's got my contact info and our hours. But I am the branch manager, have been for almost 9 years now. We have an assistant manager, Aurelia Hinton, and we also have a part-time library assistant, Lisa Burr. And I've listed our hours, and we are open Monday through Saturday. A lot of people don't realize that we're open on Saturdays. And we are open on Wednesday afternoons, which is unusual for most of the city of Cochran. But there are our hours. And we're also part of the Oklahoma Regional Library System, which the headquarters is in Eastman. And our regional director is Ann Bowen. But we are governed by a board of trustees that are appointed here locally by our local funding agencies, which is the County of Bleckley, City of Cochran, and Bleckley County Board of Education. Currently, our chairman is Howard Pridgeon. And where we are now, we've had a long history with the library. Actually started in the early 1900s by the Women's Club originally started it, and then it was brought up, and it started as a bookmobile and has grown. Some of you may remember it down at the current Chamber of Commerce. That was one of our buildings, but the location we're at now, which is on the corner of Dykes and 3rd, that location was built in 1986, so we've been there since 1986. And I provided some information about Pines. We are part of the Pines Network, which is basically the entire state of Georgia. Most public libraries are part of Pines, with the exception of some around Atlanta, Savannah, and Columbus. And what that means is not only do you have access to your local library, which whether it's Cochran, Eastman, you have access basically to the entire state. And what that means is if we don't have a book here, we can research it, and if it's available, we can request it and we can get it here for you. And what that means is you don't have to go to that library to pick it up. We can have it sent here, you pick it up here, you take it home, you read it, you bring it back to us, and we send it back. It's easy for you. And all that's required is your Pines Library card. And what Pines stands for is Public Information Network for Electronic Services. And to get a free library card, and it is free, your first time your library card is free. The only time there's a charge is if you have any fines or if you need a replacement card. And then it's $2 per replacement card. But to get a free library card, all you have to have is a valid picture ID and proof of your current residence. So it's very simple to get one. There are special accommodations for people that may not live in the state of Georgia. If you own property, there's other ways you can, but like I said, it's pretty simple for anyone to get a free Pines Library card. And you can go into any Pines Library and use that library card. It's the same one, so it's like you don't have to have one here for Cochran, one for Eastman. As long as it's Pines, you can go use it anywhere. And like I said, and as it mentioned, it really gives you access to more than 10 million books that are available. And we can get them here. Like I said, all you have to do is you come check it out here, return it here. We do all the work. And then there's also the online system, whereas that access gives you online access to your account. So a lot of times, once you check out the book, you may not have to come back in. If you need to renew it, you can go do that online. And what we do at that time is we can issue you a password that gives you access. And then also with that access, with your login and password, we now have ebooks, which are the electronic books. So if you have a Kindle, a Nook on your smartphone, now you can go into the catalog system and you can actually download those books. We also have some audiobooks are available through that system too. But it's a wonderful system, and it basically gives you access to everything that's available in the entire state that's through the Pine system. And actually, once you have account access, you can go in and place your own holds. So really, you don't have to contact us. If you have a list of books and you say, I want to go in, and you can go in and check that catalog. You can pick these books off, you can place them on hold, and then it comes into us, and then we let you know that they're here. So like I said, it's really a wonderful system. And Pines is a program of the Georgia Public Library Service, which is GPLS, which is a unit of the University System of Georgia. So, like I said, that's a wonderful system. The ebooks are fairly new to us. We've had them for probably about 6 months now. A lot of people have been wanting them, and the region was able to get the funds and set that up. So it's a really wonderful program. You can give us a call anytime. We'll be glad. We've got some more handouts at the library that actually give you step-by-step instructions, or we can point you to the online site that gives you the step-by-step instructions. But the website that I put on the paper for the regional system, www.orls.org, that takes you to the website that's not only just our regional site, but it has the links to the state Pines and to the ebook site, and also the Galileo, and there's some other resources on there. But I've also provided our phone number, our fax number, so you can always give us a call. And then also locally here too, we do provide fax copy. We have color copies. A lot of people don't realize that. That's a new service. But we can do black and white copies, color copies. We can do scanning, which means that if someone has a document that they need scanned, sent to someone, or if they just want it sent to their own email where they can utilize it, we have that service. And, that we have printing services, and all that's for a charge. Copies are 25 cents a page for black and white. Colors 50 cents a page, and your scanning and faxes start at $2, which is, I think is a pretty good price, for providing the service. And also those funds that we receive from that help for our daily operation. the majority of our funding for our daily operation does come from our local funds, which is the County of Bleckley, City of Cochran, and the Bleckley County Board of Education. And that's what we depend on for our annual operating budget, is that local funding along with the funds that we take in. We also do take in fines, if people pay for fines or lost books and all that. And like I said, about the $2 charge for the lost cards, that also stays locally too. So, but the majority of our funding, is their local funding and then the money we take in for providing those services. And like I said, we are open on Saturday, so that's helpful to a lot of people. There's not many other places that are open on Saturday, especially provide faxes. You can do copies and that. As far as our local book collection, considering our size, I think we have a very extensive collection. We do carry adult fiction and nonfiction. We have juvenile fiction and nonfiction, young adult. That's a new area. That's for the ones that don't want to be considered little kids anymore, but they're not quite ready for the adult. So they can have this section, but they have a young adult. So we have a lot, big demand for that. Also, getting into the graphic novels, that's another hot area. But we also have audio books, e-books, as I mentioned, magazines and newspapers. Magazines are available for checkout. Newspapers, we carry the local paper, the Cochran Journal. We carry the Macon Telegraph, and we also carry the USA Today. And those aren't available for checkout, but you can come in and look at those. You don't have to have a library card to do that. You don't have to have a library card to come in and just sit, read a book off the shelf, read a magazine, come in and read the newspaper. All those are available. And we do try to get all of the New York Times bestsellers. I try to do those. And then we also take into consideration our local patrons. Over time, like I said, I've been there almost 9 years, our regular patrons, a lot of them we know, what kind of books they'll like to read. And then also if someone may see a book on TV, say, well, I saw this book advertised, or I saw this person talking on the news this morning, can you get us this book? And we'll try our best to do that. If nothing else, if we're not able to order it locally, we do have the access to the Pine system that we can try and get it through that for them. Like I said, with ordering books, it is limited to our budget. Most of our book money right now is provided through state money, and as you all know, that's not always guaranteed, and that usually sort of lessens each time. But so it just depends. That depends on year to year what money we have left. And we also have been lately getting donations from our Cochran Bleckley Friends of the Library, so we're thankful for that. And then sometimes we have people that make local donations. And we do have computers available for patrons to use. We actually have 12 patron computers, and all that's required to use the computer is your valid Pines Library card. You cannot, valid means it has to be up to date, it's not expired, and then also you can't have any fines. But as long as you meet the requirements, you can come in and use the computers. It's free to use them. Generally, you have unlimited use on the computer unless we have people waiting, and then we have to limit people to 30 minutes. But, some days, we may have a person that comes in and stays on there the whole day. They can do that for their job search, if they just want to come in and play a game, or they need to work up their resumes, because they do have access to Microsoft Office. The full suite is loaded, and then they also have access to the internet. And then you can, through our website, you can access Galileo, any of those sites too. We do have a small genealogy section. It's not computerized, it's just limited to local books that we have, and those are not for checkout, but you're welcome to come in and look at it. We have a special room, you can go in and sit, you can stay in there all day and look at it. A lot of the books are books that we've purchased over the years, or people have donated. They may do a history of their family, and they want to have the book housed at the library. but also as through Galileo, as I was mentioning, which is Georgia Library Learning Online. That is, there is also a free library edition. You have to come in and actually use the library computers, but you have free access to, which is basically a version of Ancestry.com. I know all of you see those commercials where it has little leaves and all the people's pictures pops up of their ancestors. Of course, it doesn't look exactly like that, but you can come and use that for free. And in May and June of each year, we have our summer reading program, which is geared for children, middle school and younger. And what that is the children, they come in and sign up. We give them a reading log, and they keep up with the number of books that they read. And we just encourage them to read. Don't ask for a certain amount. And we give them little prizes when they, little starter set, I guess you can call them, gifts when they start, and then when they complete the program, they get a certificate. And then also in June, we'll provide 3 entertainment programs, which will be, we'll have a juggler, we'll have an arts and crafts program, and then we also have a state park ranger that comes and presents a program. But that's just sort of an overview of, there's a lot of other items I feel like I'm leaving out that, we may provide, but, we would just love for you to come visit us. Like I said, our phone number's on there, or you can go to the website. We'll be glad to answer any questions. If we don't know the answer, if it's, we'll try our best to find out the answer or help you research an answer or access the Pine system, any of that. But I think it's a wonderful, like I said, I'm a little biased, but I think it's a wonderful library. I think we have a good location, good facilities. Thank our local funding, our county of Bleckley and city of Cochran and our Bleckley County Board of Education for providing for us, and we're appreciative of that, and we try our best. And but I think we have a wonderful library, and like I said, we have a lot of access to the state system, and a lot of people don't realize that you have access to the Pine system, or they may walk in, they don't see a book on the shelf, and they just think, okay, that's it. But you have access to the entire state system. So, but I want to thank y'all for listening to me, and if anyone has any questions, or just feel free to give us a call. Yes, sir.
What about DVDs? Do you have DVDs?
Yes, sir. And I had that on my original list, and I left that off. But we do have thank you for asking that. We do have DVDs, and that's available for checkout with your library card. We have adult DVDs, and we have juvenile or children's DVDs. And actually, you can check them out for a week at a time, and that's available with your library card. Okay. But and we're actually trying to expand that section a little bit, the DVDs. But like I said, that also depends on budget too. But we have a fairly good size collection, and also that's the same with the audio books too, which are all CDs. We no longer have the tapes or VHS tapes either. We finally have moved away from that, but the audio books are on CD. You can come check those out too. Yes, sir.
You do such a good job of keeping new books in circulation.
Yes.
Approximately, what is the budget, an annual budget for just strictly to buy new books?
Actually, like I said, that depends each year. We usually have, and how that comes in is, my understanding is how we get an allotment, and then it's divided among the branches, because we actually have 5 branches in our region. But ours usually varies, but sometimes it's usually around $2,000. And when you you may look at it and you say $2,000, but then when you really think about it, a lot of times, before we started getting the donations from the Cochran Bleckley Friends of the Library, because they've been generous with us, and in fact, the last time that they donated to us, they gave us $2,500. So that basically doubled what our normal book budget was. But just strictly working off of our state book budget, it usually, especially if you're doing an adult fiction, you're down to like ordering 10 books a month. So what I try and do, since I have to spread that around, you know, you have to get adult, you have to get juvenile, you have to get, you know, and try and squeeze all of that with that budget. But like I said, we've been very thankful for our local funding, because we do have a little bit of local money that we set aside for books. And actually what that usually ends up going towards, you don't realize how expensive the newspapers are, but that basically goes towards the purchase of the USA Today and the Macon Telegraph. And we used to carry the Wall Street Journal, but that was one reason that we had to cut one of the other, and we kept the USA Today because the Wall Street Journal was just so expensive. We didn't have a local budget for it. And that's also with our magazines too. We've had to downsize our magazines, but we had a patron over the past few years that was very generous about donating subscriptions. But yeah, you know, like I said, we try and get as many books as we can, but you know, we're limited by. But the donations have really helped.
You do a great job.
Well, thank you,
Great.
thank you. And you've actually utilized the Pine system too, so that worked out well for you, didn't it? So yeah, he came in and requested a book or so, and we were able to get it through the Pine system for him. So all he had to do was come in and check it out from us and take it across the street, read it, and bring it back, and we sent it back, yeah. And actually, in that about the Pine system, before I left, we had just gotten our because that's actually handled through a courier system. Different libraries have it during different, and that's also another budget issue. We don't pay for it locally, that comes out of the region money, but we have an allotment. But we used to get more shipments, but now that's been downsized because of, you know, budget constraints. But actually, we still get 2 shipments a week, which means books come in on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And there's the courier system that, say, if you're getting a book from Rome, Georgia, they may put the book, you know, our patron has ordered that book. They put it in the courier system, and then it travels throughout the state. You know, it goes from one van to another van, you know, however many times it takes it to travel to us. And then it actually goes to headquarters in Eastman, and then they deliver it to us. And then we have to process it. And you get notification however you want it set up. If you can be notified by email. They've now got it where you can be notified by text, which so too are the quickest ways, because as soon as we scan it in the computer, the system generates you an email or generates you a text. The next, you know, there are still some people that don't have access to email or texting, or their email access is when they come in and use our computer to check it. So we make a phone call to them. But like I was saying, before I left, we were processing the shipment we got today, and we probably had 50 books that came in, and that was just today's shipment. And some of those are actually ours that are coming back from other libraries. So, you know, there are actually books that, you know, we may have that no other library in the system has. And if someone wants that particular book, then we ship it, package it, and send it out through the courier system. So it's a very, very wonderful system. But I just invite everyone to come visit, and we would love to see you. And like I said, if you have any questions, we'll be glad to help. And if you see a book on TV and you want to see if we've got it, we'll be glad to look it up for you. But, do anyone have any questions? But thank you and appreciate it.